Hello, it is I. Now going from Horizon 4 to Horizon 5, the developers added many brand new features which were amazing, but at the same time they also removed quite a lot of cool features which us players actually really enjoyed. So today I decided to compile them all in this video, as there are 10 incredible things which were removed in Forza Horizon 5. Now let's try and hit 4,000 likes in this video, come on, as the more likes we get, the more exposure this video would see, and just maybe the devs would reintroduce these old features in Forza Horizon 6. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into this video.
Out the SVR, it looked like
okay, now you probably weren't expecting to see this in the video. I have complained about snow in Forza Horizon 4 because it ruins the Horizon experience because the whole map is covered in 2 feet of snow, but there were elements about snow which I found really fun. The frozen lake, for example. It was so fun to take your cars there and just spin around. There was so much space for you to explore and it was just very fun. And also it was unique having snow in the Horizon game. I feel like the reason we hated it is because we saw snow for a whole week in Horizon 4. Now yes, I know there is snow during winter right at the top of the volcano, which is good, but it's very minimal. It's like it's driving in summer but with a sprinkle of snow. And the frozen lake at the top feels like a frozen puddle. It's so tiny, what fun could you have with something so small? That's what she said. So although I am happy that Horizon 5 winter doesn't affect the map as much as it did in Horizon 4, it would have been nice to keep blizzards, heavy snowfall and frozen lakes in some parts of the map for people who actually enjoyed winter. But not cover the whole map in it because that was way too much, I can't take that anymore.
Keys for all the cribs, but for the Euros, I just push
now there's no denying that Forza Horizon 5 has one of the best maps of any Forza Horizon game. But despite it being such a good map, it lacks in so many things which are seen in the older Forza games. For example, the airport. Now don't get me wrong, the Horizon 5 airstrip is fantastic and a huge improvement from whatever this thing is, but I feel like it's just way too ancient with grass growing out to the runway itself. It almost feels like it's been left abandoned for a few decades. Whereas games like Horizon 3 got the airport spot on, as they were modern with neat tarmac and even hangars for planes. So I would have loved to see a more modern airfield for Horizon Mexico. On top of a modern airport, Horizon 3 also received a modern city, a construction site, a gold mine, timber mills and even a water dam, all of which are not seen in Forza Horizon 5. Now going 8 years back to Forza Horizon 2, do you remember the docks? Yep, we had docks in the game which were the ideal place to go drifting. Honestly, if you watched Slap Train back in the day, you'd remember how amazing this spot was for drifting and car meets. It was genuinely just perfect. And it's so crazy to think that we don't even have a place similar to this in Horizon 5. Oh yeah, and let's not forget there was also a golf course in Forza Horizon 2, which literally served no purpose, but I liked it. It was just in a very nice place. So I reckon if these incredible map features stayed in Forza Horizon 5, the setting of Mexico would have been made so much better. Or just bring back the docks. I'm sure we'll all be very happy with that.
Took the roof up off the Bentley because I need some headspace.
Now in older Forza Horizon games, you get given a choice of low-powered cars to choose as a starter car, which is very nice. I like this very much. But in Horizon 5, you get given a choice of very high-powered sports cars, which is not very grindy. Now you might be thinking that's not a big problem. Just choose the slowest car there and grind for all the other cars. Ah, you see, well, you get given all of these cars at the start, no matter which one you choose. Yes, you can start the game in a 500 brake horsepower mid-engine V8 sports car. Jesus, what is this, man? Progression has completely been thrown out the window. I don't see why they felt like they had to do this. We asked for slower cars as starter cars and they completely ignored us and did the opposite thing. Who asked for this to be in the game, man? This is useless. So I hope that Forza goes back to this old progression system of actually giving us realistic starter cars, because not every Forza player wants to start off in a high-powered sports car. Come on, guys.
Roll across the box of cane, me and you are not the same.
Now most cars from the previous Forza Horizon games are carried through to the new games, which is very good. But there are always cars that are left behind, which is a little bit sad to see. Like the Ford Focus ST, Porsche 911 Singer, the BMW M235i, the Ducati Mustang, and the Mercedes SL65 Black. Hey, where are these cars, man? And most importantly, where are the Fast and Furious cars? There are so many DLC cars which just stayed in the Forza Horizon franchise which us people don't even care about. But some of the most iconic sought-after cars are completely gone. Come on Forza, you can't get rid of some of our favourite cars from the older Forza titles. And also, so many convertible cars from the older Forza games are not seen in Horizon 5, which I just don't understand. I mean, surely you'd have a car list full of convertibles when you've added a convertible roof button into the game. So why get rid of these cars? It doesn't make any sense for me. So I really hope that with future Horizon games, they keep every single car in the car list, but the new cars that get added are genuinely new cars we've never seen in the franchise before. Because you can't just get rid of legendary cars like this, come on.
Yeah, hit the thickest chicken Paris singing diggers at
Now
me.
in games like Forza Horizon 3, drive near the beach in Surfers Paradise, and you see a ton of people walking around, socialising and just having a good time, which is fantastic, as it really gives much needed atmosphere which helps to make the game feel alive. However, in Horizon 5, that is completely gone. I mean, you do get a few people scattered around the towns and that, but it's nowhere near to the extent of Forza Horizon 3. I mean, look at how alive the main city in Horizon Australia feels. There are people on the beach, people in restaurants, and even people waiting for trams in these stations, which is so cool to see. But in the main city of Horizon 5, everything is just empty. It's like a ghost town, it doesn't feel like the main city of the game. So I really hope that in their next game, or perhaps through an update in Forza Horizon 5, we get a whole load of pedestrians added, as it can really help to liven up the atmosphere in this game. Because at the moment, the vibes around the city are just awful. It's like they're still stuck in 2020. Come on, what's going on, guys?
Had a comment screaming, I went and did a madness.
Now in Forza Horizon 2, after you complete a championship in one town, you road trip with all the other races to the next town. This was fantastic as it made you feel like you were part of the festival, the other races with your friends, and it just immersed you into the Horizon experience, which was amazing. Honestly, these road trips were one of my favourite things about Forza Horizon 2, they were fantastic. But in Horizon 3, Horizon 4 and Horizon 5, they completely got rid of that, which I just don't understand. I mean, I guess you do play the director of the festival, so there's no reason for you to road trip with the other races, but if that's the case, then why not ditch being the director and go back to being one of the racers like in the older Forza games? I mean, the Horizon games all lost their magic as soon as you became the director of the festival. That should be reserved as a reward for completing the game. You shouldn't be the director straight from the start of the game. So in Forza Horizon 6, I'm really hoping that we see the reintroduction of these road trips, as driving to every festival site can really help to make the game feel alive. Speaking of festivals,
doors on a spaceship come electric like the front gate.
now Forza Horizon 3 had a very clever progression system, where the more races and showcase events you play through, the more fans you get. With those fans you get exposure, which allows you to build festivals all around the map, and after building every festival site, you can slowly upgrade each festival to make it bigger and better, as low level festivals will have gravel roads, with flimsy barriers and small crowds. They're all just poor basic amenities, whereas maxed out festivals will have smooth tarmac roads, strong barriers with huge crowds, and even a stage where an artist is performing their song. This, my friends, is amazing. Honestly, this was such a clever idea, but it's disappeared ever since Horizon 4, which is a little bit sad to see. Now sure, Horizon 5 has a similar system where you can build festivals as you progress through the game, but once you build those festival sites, that is it. You cannot upgrade them, which is very disappointing to see. So in Forza Horizon 6, I'm really hoping that we see a very similar system to what we saw in Horizon 3, as that festival progression system was absolutely incredible.
I heard your tune, it's all white noise.
I just realised how much I'm talking about Horizon 3. I'm sorry, they did things so well in that game. Anyways, in Forza Horizon 3, there was an incredible revolutionary feature where you could create bucket list blueprint events, which was fantastic. Now you might be thinking, but we have that in Forza Horizon 5 and it's better. And yeah, I guess so. But in Horizon 3, you can adjust the time of day and the weather. Then when you exit the blueprint, the conditions stay the same. How amazing is that? You can literally choose your driving conditions in free roam. Hey, I felt like a god. I remember I took advantage of this so much when I made videos on Horizon 3, as it really helped to streamline my process of making videos, as you can film everything instantly. Whereas in Horizon 5, if it's dark, then I have to wait a long time for the day to cycle through so I can film the videos in the sun again. I'll be waiting like half an hour for the sun to come back up, it's so long. So I'm really hoping that we see a feature where you can adjust the time of day in real time, as then I can make videos so much easier and you guys would be happy with the amount of videos I make. Now if you enjoyed this video, then you might enjoy this video up here, all the way here, which you might enjoy, so give that a watch, please. And if you want to see my face in your timeline once every 4 days, then there's a button down below here, over here I think, which you should press, and you should be subscribed to my channel. Anyways, have a good one guys. Cheers.